Packed planes are good for business and the environment. More people on one airplane means fewer planes in the air. But in the midst of a global pandemic, cramming people on board raises new challenges for engineers designing and analyzing aircraft interiors. Airlines constantly face the necessity to increase capacity in economy class. Having more people on board is not only better for the airline's business but also better for the environment, as fully packed airplanes mean fewer airplanes in the air. But in the midst of a pandemic, packing passengers together raises new challenges for engineers designing and analyzing aircraft interiors. We meet two such engineers at ESI. Christian Marker, product manager from Marseille, France, and Trevor Edwards, Vibroacoustics Global Business Development from the UK, who are steeped in cabin comfort and vibroacoustics. Noise. If you have heard a military plane take off or fly overhead, you know how loud a jet engine can get. The noise will have you bleeding from the ears, well in excess of 100 decibels. By contrast, a commercial airplane may not even wake up the baby, whether that baby is sleeping inside the plane on a bulkhead bassinet or the family naive enough to have bought a house in the flight path of a major airport. Commercial airplane engines are muffled, their interiors stuffed with noise-absorbing materials. The noise management is so effective that the loudest noise could be the rattle of the overhead storage space compartments. You, the engineer, wonder how the stowage bins are missing an isolator. There is probably a flat panel that is resonating from engine frequencies, or perhaps wind noise. Most likely, it is the former. Perhaps the vibration analysis was skipped. Doing more than wonder are hotshot engineers who specialize in aircraft acoustics and the structural integrity of cabin fixtures. Trevor's job is to consider excitations from jet engines and wind noise. He struggles to boil down a career in vibroacoustics into a short interview, but does so marvelously. Trevor breaks down the noise sources in a commercial jet aircraft into three types. Engine noise is that which is emitted by the fan and turbine blades but also from the combustion and hot exhaust gases. The noise can be heard directly from the source, but the vibrations from the engine are also transferred into the airplane by the airframe structure and can be picked up as resonant frequencies of fixtures in the aircraft cabin, such as the rattling of overhead stowage bins. Engine noise is highest during takeoff. Aft-mounted engines contribute more vibration than engines strapped on under the wing. The aerodynamically piercing smooth overall shape of a commercial jet does not hold true in the details. Look closer and you will see all the objects that mar laminar airflow, and all the things that stick out or are sunk in, such as rivets, antennae, or probes. The big unsightly radome over the satellite antenna providing you with Wi-Fi may be forming shock cells from the perturbations in the boundary layer, says Trevor. If you had envisioned a noiseless, laminar flow over the aircraft exterior, you will be surprised to find that enough turbulence occurs in the boundary layer to make it the main source of interior noise in the aircraft cabin during cruise conditions. That turbulent boundary layer (TBL) enters the aircraft through the skin and then into cavities, through structural frame members, isolators, into trim panels, through floor beams, and into the floor, and that noise is heard everywhere inside the cabin. We can model all these components, says Trevor, including stowage bins, the skin itself, stringers, sidewall, floor panels, windows, and more. The structural properties are used to determine how they will handle the noise and vibration. Sound is a safety issue. So, what if your Adele doesn't sound as good through your earbuds in the air as on the ground? The study of a sound zone around the passenger is anything but trivial for Trevor. It's a matter of safety too. You must be able to clearly hear the announcements the pilots and crew are making, he says. The study of acoustics can get lost in overwhelming detail. Calculations done at the level of rivets or air molecules for a commercial jet aircraft will tax a supercomputer. Analysis done with discretized models, either finite or boundary elements, are computational nightmares, says Trevor. Methods such as statistical energy analysis, (SEA), offer a computationally efficient method for high-frequency analysis. Ray tracing extends this capability to include directional effects to solve for sound. Ray tracing can handle multiple compact acoustic sources including directivity, he adds. You can place arbitrarily shaped obstacles and judge the effect of noise control treatments and their energy diffusion. With ray tracing, you can use different reflection models to represent the acoustic field. Multiple order diffraction has been implemented. With ray tracing for sound, you start with a CAD model of the outside of an aircraft, and from this create models that include noise control treatments. You input your various sound sources and run the ray tracing analysis. The results of ray tracing can be used as loads for an analysis of the aircraft interior with either FAR, BEM, or SEA simulation. With ray tracing, we can analyze for speech clarity, predicting the response due to an instantaneous excitation, says Trevor. We can calculate the effect of background noise and noise control treatments. Ray tracing can predict speech transmissibility and find optimum speaker placement. So those safety and emergency announcements can be heard everywhere inside the cabin. Yes, we have implemented direct and indirect strategies to evaluate speech transmission. Our latest version can deal with reflections of more complicated shapes, Trevor adds. The structural simulations that you can wonder about the rattling overhead compartments is testament to others, and far more serious threats being dealt with. You don't worry about your airplane seat collapsing under your weight like a flimsy lawn chair, even during a hard landing. That seat has undergone some serious simulation and faced the worst conditions, such as 16 gigaseconds in a crash landing. Don't worry, it was only crash dummies, virtual dummies in ESI's world, restrained only by lap belts and with their heads slamming onto walls, and not the softer seat in front of them.